call this meeting of the Smith County Emergency Services District 2 Board of Directors to order and certify there is a quorum present. Commissioner Arnold, Commissioner Wilson, Commissioner Domney is absent, and myself and Scotty are here. So with that, we'll move on to item 2, which will be prayer and pledge of allegiance. I'd ask everybody to stand, and if you would, silence your devices. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you thanking you for the many blessings you've given us. Thank you for watching over our men and women as they go about the duty of protecting our citizens daily. Not only be with them, but be with their families and uplift them and give them the strength that they need to support them as they go about their job. Dear Lord, we just thank you for all the many blessings, the rain, and everything that you've given us in the past weeks. Just watch over us, lead us, guide us, and the decisions we make tonight will be pleasant to your sight. All these things in your Son, Jesus' name we ask. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. All right. Recognition of guests and special presentations. I guess we really have anybody. That's good. We'll move on to item 4. It's public comment. Any individual may sign up, provide form, request permission to make comments to the board concerning matters that are on the agenda. The time limit for each person's comment shall be 3 minutes, and the board may not deliberate on items or matters not listed on the agenda. We have anybody signed up? No. Okay, thank you. All right, number 5 will be our consent agenda. Discuss, consider, and take any necessary action related to the payment of accounts, bills, invoices, payroll, request for reimbursement, for request for other payments, transfer of funds, and amendments. And under 5.1 is the ratification of payments already made.
I'll make a motion we ratify payments made as presented in the amount of $416,312.01.
Have a motion by Commissioner Thornton that we ratify the payments in the amount of $416,132.01. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Wilson. Is there any other question or discussion?
Did you say, did he misspeak on that?
You did.
Okay.
Did he?
It's 416,
132.
12, and 1 penny.
312.
312.
Thank you, what I
Is
did.
it 3? Okay, well it says
You said
there's 2
1.
different totals there. The total above that's 416, 132. Yeah.
The 132 is the correct one.
The 132 is correct. So the
Okay.
so somebody made.
All right, do I need to
misprint.
revise my motion?
Yes, please do that.
All right, I will revise my motion to ratify payments made as presented in the amount of $416,132.01.
Okay. Have a motion, ratified motion by Commissioner Thornton to pay the ratified amount in the amount of $416,132.01. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay, and that motion carries. 5.2 is payment of bills, which is our payroll and other bills that we had. And the ones I went over, I didn't see anything out of order.
Everything's good.
Yeah, so I'll entertain a motion on 5.2 to pay our bills.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Wilson that we pay our bills in the amount of $1,577,048.35. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. Is there any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. Okay. 5.3 is our district credit card bills. And the same with that, we've reviewed the invoices and the statements and saw nothing out of the ordinary. Most of those are for deployments and ancillary supplies. And I would
I'll make a motion that we authorize the district credit card payments as presented in the amount of $8,430.84.
Motion by Commissioner Thornton to pay our credit card bills in the amount of $8,430.84. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. 5.4 is our contract payments, which all seem to be in order.
I didn't see any problems.
Okay, I would entertain a motion on 5.4.
I'll make the motion, we authorize contract payments as presented in the amount of $123,763.09.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold to make our contract payments as presented in the amount of $123,763.09. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. Urgent purchases, there were none this time. Emergency purchases, there were none. And 5.7 is our pre-approved payments for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas for medical and dental insurance and monthly wireless services. And that all came in under budget, so. We'll move on to item 6, which is approval of the minutes, but since Commissioner Domney is out, none were submitted for this period, so we will present those at the next regular board meeting. Item 7 is Executive Director's report.
Thank you. As usual, I will cover a few highlights. You have the written report available. And I will start with that under separate agenda item in this board meeting, we are presenting a firefighter health screening program and are seeking approval for that from the board. This is to align and comply with the Texas Way Canon Act, and Sherry will cover a little bit more once we come to that. I also would like to update the board on the strategic plan, the consultants. They are making progress, and we have a second complete review meeting with them scheduled for next week, where we will review their second report, which covers the community risk reduction. And hopefully, after that meeting, it should probably be 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then we should have the final document ready to present to the board. Moving over to finance, we have sales tax revenue that as of the end of the June meeting, we are at a negative 3.2% compared to collections last year to date. Our budget had anticipated a negative 1.8. I'm still hopeful that during the remaining 3 months of this fiscal year, we will actually catch up and get very close to what the original budget had anticipated. Moving to the operating, we have the overtime, which has been focus area for quite a few months now, has moderated quite significantly. And we actually anticipate now that for each payroll cycle, it will successively come down more and more. As long as people don't quit on us, and we have to take another 2 or 3 weeks to find new hires. So, but that is definitely going in the right directions. I would like to ask the 4 commissioners to make sure they have in their calendars the board workshop #1, which is this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock in this location. Then the following Saturday, also on August 8th, we have the second workshop. And by that time, hopefully we will have adjusted and edited the existing budget to everybody's satisfaction. You should all be already informed that our senior accountant resigned a few weeks ago. He's no longer with us at all. He gave us 2 weeks, but he decided we all mutually agreed that he should depart 1 week earlier than the 2 weeks for a variety of reasons. And under a separate agenda item also in this board meeting, we are seeking board approval to appoint a successor to him in the role as senior accountant. So we'll cover that later. With that departure, I also want to highlight that one of the major emphasis that we've had over the past 6 months has been cross-training. And believe me when I say that cross-training has proved very beneficial following his sudden departure. The investments are above target. We probably will come in $150,000 to $200,000 above budget when it comes to investments, so that is a good thing. We also have under separate agenda item approval where we're seeking to re-engage Squires and Company to conduct the financial audit and the investment audits for this coming year. And those were my highlights, and I'm available to answer any questions.
On the strategic plan, will we have any of those deliverables for all the budget planning sessions?
I wish I could
was-
promise that we would, but I actually doubt it. I don't think that's going to be possible.
Okay, so none of that will be considered in the upcoming budget?
No, it would have to be the following.
Okay.
Okay. That was 7.1, so the investment portfolio report for Smith County, ESD2?
Yep, it has actually signed. If you looked online, you will see that there is a digital signature by Mr. Brent Dominy as the board treasurer, and an old-fashioned wet signature by myself, and we both have independently validated the numbers. The total market value of the district's investments are $18,328,000 in the Fidelity account and about $8.9 million in the sweep account. And the earnings are, like I said earlier, they are above what budget said.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
Not for me.
All right, we'll move on to 8, which is financial reports. And I guess Amy.
I have asked
Amy, do you wanna
Amy
give
to
those?
fill in.
All right.
Yes, thank y'all for having me tonight. I'm grateful to be presenting the financial reports to you all. As far as where we are fiscally positioned, we are still strong overall. From the point of view from revenues, as of the June financials, we had received about 87.5% of what we expected for the year, so we are trending well. Eric did mention that as far as the tax income goes, we do expect to be right on pace by the end of fiscal year. With the interest income that's coming off of the investments, it has been said, but they continue to perform very, very well. Within the month of July, it is reasonable enough to say that we will receive 100% of what we budgeted and more for the year, budgeted for the year. With TIFMAS continues to be a very vital part of our revenues. Chief Clayton and I were able to meet about TIFMAS after these June reports were produced and the results of analyzing our fiscal year to date and what we anticipate for the fourth quarter. We do expect our revenues to exceed the cost to the district to be a part of this program. Those are just a few of the revenue highlights. As far as expenses go, for the month of June, we were spending just under $1.9 million. That was largely made up of our normal personnel and benefits cost, but additionally was impacted by our annual sundry expense for the Vera Bank loan. So we got our statement for our Vera Bank loan. We recorded that expense, and it is to be paid closer to its due date at the end of September. Eric did touch on it, but we continue to make progress with our overtime costs for personnel from implementing the new firefighting positions, comparing a late May payroll to a more current July payroll. The cost has decreased of over $30,000. So we've received a very good benefit in just under 60 days. As we look forward to July, Larry, Brandon, and the facilities team has made great progress working on budgeted projects for the Jackson Heights remodel and the new Dixie Station implementation. So you will see capital activity expenses in the July reports. I'm available for any questions at this time.
No question.
Anybody have any other questions for Amy? Nope. Thank you, Amy. All right, we'll move on to item 9. Fiscal year 26 financial statement audit proposal, engagement letter, and investment performance audit letter, and agreement upon procedure. Discuss, consider, and take action on the attached 26 financial audit proposal, engagement letter, investment performance audit letter, and all agreed upon procedure investments letter received from Squires and Company. You want to speak on that, Eric?
I've asked Amy to cover
Amy
that
will,
too.
okay.
Yes, Commissioners, as we can see, attached are the engagement letters for our annual external audit services with Squires. I have formally introduced myself both to the engagement partner, Wayne Barton, and our point of contact there, Elvia Torres. And given that the board approves these services, we do all look forward to continuing our working relationship with them. There are no significant changes in the services being provided as compared to last year. I just want to highlight a minimal increase in the basic fee that they're charging us for these upcoming services. And so we can move towards our action item for a decision on that. I'm available for any questions. The total cost for these services is listed at $52,600.
Okay.
Have they indicated why they just creep up a little bit every year? Is it labor? Is it just more expensive services? Because we're not changing it from year to year, right? It's pretty common.
If I may, we actually brought that up with them when we had our annual meeting with the partner, if you'd like. And the short answer was that we have been and continue to be underpaying them for many, many years. So in view of the fact that when we had the RFP a year and a half ago, we invited every single CPA firm in Tyler and Longview. We got one reply, one submission, and that was Squires.
Okay.
So it's hard to drive a hard bargain with them
Right.
under those circumstances.
Right. Do they say what they think?
No, I mean, they think that it's actually underpriced
Okay.
already, considering the amount of work that they do. They were perfectly serious when they said that.
Yeah, they have to work real hard trying to find something. They couldn't find anything this year. We got a totally clean audit. They didn't find anything to tag us.
And I think it's hard for them to find people, actually, that wants to work as auditors.
Right.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the Squires and Company engagements in the
Make a
amount.
motion, we approve staff to move forward with Squires and Company engagements of $52,600 and authorize the executive director to sign any associated engagement letters.
Second motion by Commissioner Arnold. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thornton. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. And that motion carries. Item 10. Volunteer Fire Department financial statement. Comprehensive master engagement with Squires and Company. Discuss and consider and take any action on the VFD financial statement Master engagement with squires at an estimated cost not to exceed $8,500. So
I'll make-
this is for the audit of the volunteer fire department?
Correct, according to the service provider contract. So I would like to make one highlight here, though, is that the board is essentially approving the expense and approving the fact that the district is acting as a aggregator of this. But each individual engagement letter here will also need to be signed and approved by the VFD chief. So we're not approving on your behalf by any means, but we're, just so you are aware that they will be contacting you and asking for your cooperation, but the district will pick up the bill for it.
Yeah. We're just approving $8,500 to pay for those audits, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, staff that we hire and approve Squires and Company to complete the engagements for all of the VFDs for $8,500 and for authorizing the executive director to sign any necessary documents.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Thornton, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. Item 11, Director of Human Resources report.
Good morning, or good evening. I don't know what time of day it is. Before you is my HR report. Under recruitment and staffing, we have some open positions. Some of them have previously been mentioned, but we are looking for an accountant. We have hired 2 firefighter candidates that will start on July 29th and August 3rd. And then we're also looking for 2 part-time vehicle transportation positions. And then I also wanted to point out that we do have 19 candidates remaining on our firefighter eligibility hiring list, and we'll utilize those as needed. That's all I was going to point out, unless there was something you wanted to address, or if you had any questions.
Who's making sure that list is up to date?
I am.
You are, so every once in a while you just call them and see if they're still looking for a job or would still be interested.
Well, as the necessity arises, then we
Right.
call and determine if they're still interested in Smith County.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Okay, and 11.2 be workforce injuries.
Yes. Attached is my workforce injuries report resulting in lost work time. You'll notice that there are 2 injuries on this report. Both of those have returned to work with no restrictions as of July 23rd.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any
That's
questions
it.
for me.
And that's all?
That's all.
Okay, good.
So we're in a good position there.
11.3 firefighter occupational cancer wellness screenings, which is House Bill 198 compliance.
Yes.
Approve the selection of UT Health as the provider for firefighter wellness screening services, authorize inclusion of associated costs in the fiscal year 2026-27 budget, and authorize HR to execute the necessary agreements for services.
Yes, the administration is requesting the board consideration of implementing firefighter wellness screenings to comply with House Bill 198 or Wade-Cannon Act requirements for firefighter occupational health screenings. The House Bill 198 requires subdivisions employing firefighters to provide confidential occupational cancer and wellness screenings at no cost to the firefighters, beginning in the firefighter's 5th year of employment and annually thereafter. The required screening components include cancer and occupational health measures in accordance with standards established by TCFP and NFPA standards. Based on the current staffing and years of service, it's estimated that approximately 58 firefighters have reached 5 or more years of employment and will require screening during fiscal year 27 to meet statutory requirements. Administration obtained 2 quotes for the required wellness screening services, which are attached for the board review. Chris's Mother Frances Health System was also invited to submit a proposal. However, despite many attempts to obtain a response, no proposal was submitted. Staff evaluated the submitted proposals based on cost, scope of service, implementation approach, and provider experience, including its established experience serving the City of Tyler Fire Department. If approved, wellness screenings will be conducted during the first quarter of fiscal year 27, which is October through December 2026. Approval of this item will authorize inclusion of the associated cost in the fiscal year 27 budget and authorizes administration to enter into an agreement with UT Health for the required services. The financial impact from UT Health is $23,992. I'm recommending that we approve the recommendation of, I'm recommending that we approve the selection of UT Health as the provider for firefighter wellness screening services, authorizing inclusion of the associated costs in the fiscal year 27 budget, and authorize HR to execute the necessary agreement with UT. I don't know if you have any questions in regards to the bill or the.
One of the frequent questions, we made the tour of stations the other day, and a lot of the questions were about this. And as soon as we get this approved, please get out to the paid staff exactly what this service is including, because there's several of them been waiting on a screening, and they need to know exactly what we're gonna cover.
Well,
There's just a lot of questions out there
Right.
about this particular thing. I told them I couldn't answer it because I had only seen a very brief part of it.
okay,
So
okay.
there's a lot of questions they want to ask, and you need to reach out to all you people.
Well, we'll send out a notification when it's approved, I'm assuming, if it's tonight or not. And we'll send out and let them know what it is being covered and how it's going to be handled with UT Health, if that's who you all approve.
Right, I'll entertain a motion on item 11.3.
I'll make a motion, we approve the selection of UT Health as the provider for firefighter wellness screening services, authorize inclusion of the associated costs in the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget, and authorize HR to execute the necessary agreements for service.
Have a motion by Commissioner Thornton. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Arnold. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. All right, item 12, Community Outreach Coordinator.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, if you have been watching the media, we have had a lot of attention lately, both with positive stories. We've been on the water frequently, not only with training, but just with calls at all hours, and a lot of successful calls, but we've also had a lot of difficult calls that have obtained a lot of media attention. I cannot speak highly enough of our crews, just for what they're doing, how they're handling these calls. The crisis response ministry, they have been in the stations and have spoke highly of our team and the relationship specifically that Chief Greaser has built with them. And so I just can't thank them enough for what they're doing for our team, especially those of you who've been in that position before and know kind of what they're going through. And then add in the heat. They're just doing a great job in how they represent us out, because in addition to responding to these calls, they're also still doing community events. And you can see in one of my notes, I have people reach out to me all the time about how well our teams represent us out at events, whether it's even on social media. I had one from a church event that we attended this weekend, but I had a group reach out to me personally when we responded to their family emergency. And we had met this family through a community event, so they recognized our firefighters when they came in on the call, and it gave them a sense of comfort and relief to see familiar faces, and then just how they conducted themselves. So they reached out to me personally to let me know how appreciative they were of that. So it is always nice to hear that in the middle of something traumatic, our guys are not only handling the situation, but them being there for the family. So I just cannot be more proud of them and what they're doing. And then again, in all of the volunteers, I know they've been out at community events as well, especially 4th of July, with it being on a Friday this year. So we were just like busy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all of those days. So everyone just did a great job. So thank you for that. And then we had more than 900 calls through the month of May, leading up to some of these major house fires that we have responded to recently. They have also garnered a lot of attention online, and again, we're just promoting this message not only within our community because of the heat advisories, but with our crews to stay safe in this weather, because I can't imagine putting on bunker gear right now, fighting a fire. That would be a lot, but they're doing a phenomenal job, and we appreciate them.
Anything else?
We're getting ready to start school, so we'll be busy in August. There's really no break.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next one is, I think, 13. I was looking at something else. Let me get down here to it. I'll just read off the paper. All right. Larry, I think it's your executive director's report, deputy executive director's report.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I won't take a whole lot of your time. You all have my report in front of you. You've had the opportunity to review it. A lot of time has been spent over the last month or so really tidying up the budget process and getting that all the loose ends tidied up. Amy and I and the rest of the team have been working diligently to get that done. I'll remind y'all again, I know Eric already mentioned it, but we have our first board workshop this Saturday. Look forward to seeing you all then. The next step after that will be for us to incorporate any changes that may be wanted by the board, and then bring that back to you at the second workshop so you can see those changes are made. In addition to that, we've just been working on lots of projects. So what you'll see is if you'll scroll down in my report, you'll see the weekly portfolio summary. That has a new executive snapshot, which should make this easier since we have so many projects going on at one time. It should give you a snapshot on how many projects we have ongoing, which right now that count is 6. We had 2 that completed during this last report period. That was the command trailer as well as the material handling project that y'all approved a couple of meetings back for fleet and facilities. And then it'll give you a snapshot of how many projects are on track, how many are at risk, how many are delayed, and exactly how much funding we have tied up in those capital projects. So right now, everything is on track. We don't have any at risk, as indicated. Be happy to answer any questions.
Don't have any right now.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, 13.2, discuss and consider and take any necessary action on approving a 3-year contract agreement with the district's internet service provider, and authorize the staff to agree and sign the contract with designated internet service provider. So, you want to speak on that, Larry?
Sure. This is to stick with our existing internet service provider, or ISP. This would relate in about $4,400 in savings for the first year and about $3,800 for the next 2 years, year 2 and 3. And it actually increases our speeds at the same time. So it's a good deal for the district all the way around.
What's the total cost of the 3-year contract?
The total cost of all 3 years will be, let me do some math here. It's for a year about $45,000. So about 100, probably close to 140,000
For 3 years?
for 3 years. Now, as with any contract, and Mr. Hardy can jump in on this, the district can choose, so you're not binding a future board because the district could choose not to budget for it, and if the budget for it is not approved, then that contract's null anyway. So that's how we're able to enter those multi-year contracts.
So we're just approving a 1-year?
You're approving a 3-year contract as long as funding is
Available.
authorized, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. You wouldn't be able to switch providers. That's really what it comes down to. You're locked into that ISP for the 3-year contract.
Is this the current provider that we have? And are they gonna get any better on our spotty coverage out there?
This is for the internet that's ingested at server room 1 and server room 2, as well as this facility and the 911 communications facility, as well as the point-to-point service between our 2 server rooms. So this has nothing to do with the in-field coverage. this is our primary, so this affects every facility.
Which is not
Yeah.
coverage.
Correct.
All right. I'll entertain a motion on 13.2.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the IT manager to proceed with agreeing to and signing a 3-year contract with the designed designated ISP provider. Sorry, lost my spot. That was 13.2, sorry. Yeah, I guess that covered everything. Authorize staff to agree to and sign a contract with the designated ISP provider.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Thornton, have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other question or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. All right, 13.3. Discuss, consider, and taking action on purchasing new turbocharger and oxygenator for reserve engine 380 at a cost of $7,828.61, is that right?
Yes, sir, that is correct. And it's is kind of a routine purchase for us, just as normal maintenance on these kind of engines. So attached you will find the funding request and evaluation tabulation, as well as the new fleet rating card, which is the same system, it just looks a little different. This particular unit only has 21 points, so it's actually in pretty good service for us as a secondary unit. So it does make sense to continue with this purchase and keep this unit in service.
Are we getting a pretty good price on those now, or are they coming in when they should?
Yeah, they're coming in a lot faster than they were at this time last year, so,
And that's all within budget?
yes, sir.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion on,
I'll make a motion, we authorize staff to purchase replacement turbocharger and actuator for reserve engine 380 from Holt Truck Center at a cost of $7,828.61.
have a motion by Commissioner Arnold, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other question or discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. 14, Chief of Operations report. Chief Reaser.
Good evening, Commissioners. As was stated earlier, the call volume was at 940 calls for service in the month of June. That's down by 2 calls from the previous month, so we're just tracking right there in the 940 category, with a couple of months that have been right at 1,000 or greater. So we're on track for real close to a 12,000 call for the calendar year. CADIS continues to progress and make adjustments and improvements. We're planning to exercise some of the command-aware functions of the CAD at an exercise in Bullard related to a school exercise that's required by state mandate. And that's upcoming the balance of this week. Training facility continues to make solid improvements. We began on phase 3, and that's the concrete that has been poured and ready for the outdoor classroom. The move of the confidence maze from upstairs at the shop, so there'll be a lot of improvements that'll go right there on the drill field for us that's already underway, including the concrete on the ground ready to go vertical. We're also expecting the delivery of the ARP 2604 grant funded improvement for the tower, so that's on its way, it's coming in. That'll allow us an upper floor improvement to enhance our capabilities with that particular opportunity. Looking at just kind of skipping down to the recruits, you've already heard where we're at with recruiting and how we've implemented that, and we're seeing great improvements in terms of the overtime, but we're also working hard in the field to finish up their Blitz Academy that we did in-house. So we did a 1-week academy. It leaves us a few gaps, but we're able to accomplish that on duty, on shift. So the shift officers are working hard to close those gaps. You can imagine trying to put everything into 1 week is a compressed week for sure, but we've made progress on that. We've also making progress on the hiring of the 2 that Sherry mentioned a minute ago and how we'll implement those. So we're actually going to do some 100% on shift. And we've assigned specific officers to take care of that for us. So we're optimistic about that and where that's going. Just an update on our operational readiness and walkthroughs at 31, hydrants at 54. Little bit of update on TIFMAS and task force. We did deploy. All of those deployments have been demobbed and either already back or on their way home. So all of those have happened there. Just a little bit of highlights at the bottom, looking at the things that those large accomplishments that we've worked on together. The CAD implementation is operational. Jamestown operational. The training field ongoing improvements, but operational. Build out of the reserve fleet, and that's what that approval that you just made is continuing to build out that reserve fleet. And the things that we approved in the last board meeting in terms of the loose equipment that will go on those, that'll help in the field tremendously for the time that it takes to roll over to those reserve pieces of equipment for scheduled and unscheduled kind of maintenance and repairs. And then the implementation of the warm zone PPE, and so all of that is implemented in the field and ready even for the exercise that will be going on this week. Happy to answer any questions that you might have.
No questions from me.
Anybody have any? No, Chief? All right. 14.2, discuss, consider, and take any action on the purchase of extrication rescue tools for engine 127 Winona at a cost of $35,850.
Commissioners, this is partial funded with 2604 grant money to Winona VFD. It is a purchase to enhance the capabilities on the VFD assigned to engine 127. And so it would give us a full set of district standardized tools for operation there. So the match for that grant is at $25,000, but the total outlay for the district would be at $10,850 after reimbursement.
Okay. So you're asking the board for $10,000 and some change, is that right?
That'll be the long term, but
Okay.
you'll approve for the total purchase, and the reimbursement will leave us with a net outlay of $10,850 after reimbursement.
I'd entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion that we recommend the purchase of the outlined extrication tools with the assistance from the 2604 program at a cost not to exceed $35,850.
There's a motion by Commissioner Thornton to purchase the outline extrication tools with the assistance from the 2604 grant program at a cost not to exceed $35,850. Have a second?
Second.
We have a second, Commissioner Wilson. Is there any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. Item 15, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the fire chief presenting and discussing issues with the board. Harvey.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Hi, Chief.
See you busy month as far as calls go, staying around the 50 range.
I think it's kind of increased a little bit because we're picking up calls with the new CAD for maybe Chapel Hill or Troop area when they're out on calls. As far as our active members, I think we dropped one from 10 to 9 from the previous month. That one member, he got hired on full-time at another city. He doesn't live in ARP anymore, so he's in the process of going inactive and turning his gear in. But we have also onboarded 3 new members in the month of July. One's going to be starting academy in September, and then he'll do EMT in January. Another new member has a little bit of previous fire experience. He just moved to ARP. And then a third one, he is a full-time firefighter for another local city that lives in ARP. So we'll be onboarding him, I think, this week. And then we had another person turn in an application tonight. So we'll have 4 new members in the month of July. So we lost one, but got 4. So yeah. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Have none unless you have something you want to tell us.
I will say one thing, y'all, we have been around, me and Johnny see how far we've come and how far we've not come. Look in-house at yourself, and if you need to clean up some stuff, get rid of some junk, reach out to them and let's get rid of some of this stuff I saw in some of these outlying stations. There's some things in there that, as a former chief, I know we don't need it no more. And if we don't need it, there's no need hanging on to it. Send it to Helping Hands and get rid of it. There's people out there that will be able to use it. So please, look around.
Bullard, Chief again.
Specifically to that, our board of directors approved disposal of a lot of equipment that you saw at Station 57. We've been working on inventorying that, so we appreciate the comments, and we now have our board approval. It was equipment that was purchased a long time ago that can go to some other department that's in need. So very much appreciate that and the support. As Nikki indicated, July 4th, Independence Day weekend, a very big weekend. We worked in partnership with the ESD so that they could move the paid staff from Station 56 in Bullard to cover Station 66 in Noonday, while Station 66 was staffing Marine 66 out on the water. From July 3rd, which was the Friday, at 10 a.m. in the morning until Sunday at 8 p.m., we had continuous staffing at Station 57, minimum of 3 people. At one point in time, for about a 12-hour period, we had 9 members on duty. There were 280 volunteer hours that were rostered that weekend that helped eliminate and curtail some of the overtime burden. I want to commend the entire working relationship. That engine 157, ended up being first due on 2 structure fires. Those were in that area that is not normally staffed. So we took what would have been a 14-minute response time, moved it to a 3-minute. Our citizens saw the benefit of that almost immediately by keeping a structure fire at a very minimal state. So the partnership is working. Being that we are certified firefighters, we're EMTs, those 9 members that were out there, everybody was a certified member. We had no non-certified members that were staffing. So our citizens saw no difference in the response. And we appreciate the opportunity to provide that and augment the services that were out there. Tomorrow night, we have a regular meeting. We've got 2 new members coming on. One is currently enrolled in emergency medical technician. She's looking forward to entering the fire academy once she completes EMT school. We have another one that has completed the basic training requirements for support and for wildland fire. She's looking to come on. Both the applicants are female. They're both looking to come on and provide assistance in Bullard. I know the budget's coming up. We've submitted some requests. We're looking forward to working with you on how we can bring some of that to life. We understand it's a wish list, but we're looking forward to the budget workshops this weekend. We'll see you there. Is there any questions?
Nope. Good job. Thanks.
Thanks, Chief. Chapel Hill, Chief Peterson.
Like everybody else, we have been busy out there in Chapel Hill as well, doing things too. The same way, like I say, with we help on the 4th of July. We help with at the borders with the 4th of July fireworks, and then in between all that, and then when that's when all calls started coming in like mad. And we were lucky that we're at our station. Like you say, we had a structure fire in our district, and the closest truck was, if it wasn't for us being there, was Flint. And so we got there in quick enough time to actually hold the fire down and got it down and save the house as well, until the other guys came and helped us the rest of it. So like I say, we help working together with everybody. We also have 8 members, like I say, went to the SFMA conference this last month. Also, one member has completed his EMT certification, and he's finishing up now his fire academy on that. And in fact, he'll be actually doing it through the city of Tyler. So he's going to be working with them, but still help us volunteer as well. I also have 2 members who are going to be starting their EMR class here in October, so 2 more going to medical school. And then also I got 1 member be starting a fire academy in the fall here as well. So we got another going that route. Had 1 officer completed his certification for TCFP inspector certification. And then I had 2 officers completed their certification for TCFP Officer 2 classification. So everybody still keep going on their training as well. Like I said, our training we had in June was a wildland training, because it's getting dry out there again, so we're trying to keep our volunteers up on the wildland part of it as well. Like I say, we just got done sending, we have 5 members went to teach this last week for the school down there, and everything went real well with our guys in training to teach this year. Then I got, with all my new members coming on, I got 1 that just put an application in our last meeting, and I got several of my members now. In fact, as you can see, we've been staffing our station as well. I've been putting in requests quite often. I got some more coming too. So I got a lot of them that want to work hours, so we're staffing behind that. And then also we got coming up in this month, like she already mentioned, in Chapel Hill at the high school. We're going to go be there on August 13th for the back to school for PR for them as well. And that's all we got going this month.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
Point direction, Chief Stone?
Good evening. Well, we had 1 new member that come on just last month. He's already got his wildland. He's just about got his support. We got to get him in. I think you've got a EVT class coming. I got 3 fixing to do that. That'll finish all theirs. We just got a new member on that we just got the deal. We got to get him through all the final deal. His background's come back, which is fully certified, EMT, firefighter, TCFP. So we're glad of that one that he's got through. We sent 2 to Teeks last week. And then our last training we did on the CAD system and radio etiquette. So, and then as you can see, we've been busy too. So, any questions?
Nope, thank you.
White House doesn't have anybody. Chief Tate let me know he was working tonight, and this other person that usually fills in for him is working also, so there's nobody available, so. And Winona, Chief Allen?
Well, good evening, guys. I know this last month, I know I've had at least, I believe, 3. I'm working on getting the scanner, didn't scan the back page for the deal, so I can send it on to Ms. Sherry, but we're working on that one. He's fully certified EMT and is currently in Kilgore Fire Academy, so that's going to be very beneficial to us. I've got 1 that's in EMTB. Hopefully he'll be finished up somewhere between the end of August, 1st September. That's going to be an additional good deal there. And other than that, we are just attending calls and rostering the station.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Item 16 will be closed session. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. No action shall be taken while the board is in closed session. Any final action, final decision, or final vote shall be taken after the board reconvenes in open session. And we are in closed session at 6:54. call regular session back to order at 7:54 PM. And, item 18, discuss, consider, and take any action on personnel matter. Authorize executive director to implement and propose promotion, compensation, recruitment, and staffing plan as presented. I would entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion that we, move and authorize the executive director to implement the proposed promotion, compensation, recruitment, and staffing plan as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Arnold, I have a second. Second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay, and that motion carries. Item 19, remarks by presiding officer and/or board members, information updates, items to be placed on future agendas and future meeting dates, times, and locations. Scotty, you have anything?
Nope.
Charles? Mac?
We made the rounds. Y'all heard my comments earlier. I hope volunteer chiefs, and I hope that everybody will kind of take a look at their stations. You know, things get overlooked all the time. Just look around. Appreciate y'all.
And the only thing I want to remind everybody, workshop Saturday on the budget, starts at 10 o'clock, it'll be here, it's an open meeting. If you want to attend, you can attend. And then the following Saturday, there'll be another one. So, that's about all I want. I want to thank each and every one of you for the jobs you do and keep doing. It's not for any of us, but it's for our citizens, and I'm pretty sure they highly appreciate everything that each and every one of us do. So let's just keep that in mind as we move down the road. And with that, if there's nothing else, we are adjourned at 7:56.